What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our build for the Great American Monkey 1000. If you've been following along, you're going to see that we've really dialed this thing in since the last video. We're running out of time here. I'm heading out here in Alabama on the 25th of this month, driving out to Utah. It's going to take me a little over 2 days. And then we're going to kick this thing off and head out on our week-long adventure across Moab for 1,000 kilometers on the 28th of September. So time is running short, but I feel like I've made a lot of progress since the last video, and I wanted to share everything with you and kind of let you know where we're at with this build. So just sit tight and we'll flip you around here real quick. All right, there she is, guys. You can see we've made quite a bit of progress since the last video. But let's kind of pick up where we left off to get started here. I want to talk about these frame decals. If you remember in the last video, I mentioned that I had some issues with fitment on those and I was a little bit disappointed. Well, it turns out it was my own darn fault. I failed to account for the fact that this is the wider wide body that as I call it, frame. So not only is it bigger in this area, but it was also bigger in this area, hence the reason why the decals didn't fit properly. So what I did was I reached out to Jeff at G-Force Graphics, which is where I bought them from. I'll put a link to his eBay store in the description. Told him what was going on, and he whipped me up another set that were just a little bit bigger and allowed me to get the perfect placement and fitment that I was after. So thanks again, Jeff, for that. Also, I haven't installed them yet, but he made me a set of these side badges where the Honda, instead of being red, is the same color as the DAX lettering. So I'll get those put on there too, but let's go ahead and kind of take a look at what we've got going on here. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of stuff hanging off this that wasn't the last time we talked about it, but let's just kind of start up here in what I like to call my dash. So down here, I've got a USB charging port with 2 outlets on it. It also has a little voltage indicator on it so I can keep tabs on my batteries. Notice I said batteries. I've got this Kemimoto handlebar bag. That's where I plan to keep, more than likely, my phone and my wallet, anything else I need quick access to that isn't real large. And then the plus side of that is I can also run a charger cord out of this bag from my phone down here and keep my phone charged up. This unit here is what I call my CarPlay screen. So this allows me to connect this to my phone via Bluetooth, and I have full CarPlay up here on this unit, just like you would see in your modern car. That's how I'm going to monitor my Onyx off-road maps as we're going through the trails and whatnot. And then also I've installed a cup holder over here. That's where I'll keep my, I guess, caffeine type drinks and whatnot for quick access. And let's see here, coming around to the front. As you can see, I am running out of handlebar real estate, but I am hoping I've got just a little bit of bar left right there where I can mount one of my cameras. So we'll see how that plays out, and I'll be sure to share that with you when the time comes. Another thing worth mentioning is these mirrors. You know, I like the Kemimoto mirrors I've got on my other Ice Bear Champion build, but I got to looking, and I've got a Honda Navi, and I was like, well, those are actually some nice looking mirrors, and they're actually OEM Honda parts. Well, it turns out you can get Honda Navi parts for practically nothing. I got both of those mirrors with all the hardware I needed for a total of about $15, and they are OEM Honda parts. Coming down here, we've got the Nibby 24mm carb installed. Runs really great until you get to wide open throttle, and then it leans out pretty bad. So I've already went up a couple sizes on the main jet. It helped, but it's not perfect yet. So I've got a little bit more dialing to do there. I have all the jets I need. I just need the time. Coming back to the rear, see, we've got a lot going on back here, and we need all that stuff with the adventure we're getting ready to go on. But I do have, up under here, I've got the Bart Motoco tail light with integrated turn signals, and she is street legal. Don't be trying to steal my identity with that license plate. And then if you look really close in here, there's another lithium battery. So that battery is actually wired in parallel with my main battery that's still underneath the seat where it belongs. And the reason I did that is, you know, we're going to be off grid and I want to be able to charge my devices. I've got a little portable air compressor. I've got power banks. I've got camera batteries. I've got phone, flashlights. I need to be able to keep all that stuff charged. And I figured the safest way to do that was to run dual batteries. Just gives me more capacity, same amount of voltage, but just more capacity. And then if you look here, I've got these pouches on each side here are actually holding 1 liter fuel bottles. So that's going to give me about a total of 2 gallons of gas when I head out each day. Hopefully that's enough for this 140, because I have a feeling she might be a little more thirsty than my teammates' bikes because they're all running 125s. These bags, get you around here. Right now I've got a pillow in each one of them to kind of puff them out. But I did decide, if you remember, I was on the fence here, to go with the 20-liter bags. So these things have a lot more room to expand. You know, I'm barely even scratching the surface of what they'll hold. Right now, they've got straps going every which way but loose. And once I get everything packed and configured, I don't want all those straps hanging around. Honestly, I hate trying to roll them up and stuff them in those little elastic bands and all that crap. So the straps I don't need are getting cut off. I can tell you that right now. And that may be these as well. These are actually carrying straps that go to each individual bag, so you could like throw it over your shoulder like a, you know, some type of a duffel or something. They're also meant to double as straps that go from one side to the other over your seat to help distribute the weight. Sounds like a great idea if my gas tank wasn't under the seat. They do have buckles on them, and I suppose I could unbuckle them every day or every time I needed to fill up. More than likely, once I get everything packed out and I see how she looks and how the load carries on these racks, those straps will probably meet the scissors. Here you can just see another look at the cup holder. That is adjustable, so it'll hold pretty much any size of drink that you can come up with. And up here, I guess I didn't highlight I'm running the mushroom grips. I really like those. Bart Motoco, of course. Not running a kill switch on this bike. Just ran out of real estate on the handlebars, to be perfectly honest with you. So if I need to kill it, I'll have to reach down and grab the key. And then I've got my tail bag here. That's actually a Kemimoto item as well, Amazon. It expands. You can unzip one of those zippers and it gains about another 6 inches of height. Then up here, I've got a water bottle. I am gonna try to stay hydrated. But I think what's gonna happen is this water bottle and these fuel bottles, they have the MOLLE straps on the back. Once I get the bags full, those fuel bottles and the water bottle will probably move around here to the side where they belong. There aren't really good spots to put them on these ends over here. I just kind of hung them on there so you guys could see what I had. One other thing I want to do real quick is I want to fire up the power to this and show you the gauge cluster real quick. It's something kind of neat. So give you a quick glance, not right at it, but we got the LED headlight. That's on low beam, and I do run it on switch 12 volt power. It's really hard to run an LED headlight off of this. So we should be good on lighting. And then back around to the rear. Some of you have probably seen these before, but there's that Bart Motoco tail light and brake light, obviously. But what I really want to show you is see if I can get a good look at it here. Wanted to get you a look at the CarPlay unit there for starters. As you can see, it's just like what you would have in your like car. You know, it's touch screen and everything. So looking forward to using that. And then up here in the gauge cluster, again, this is there's some cool stuff going on here. You see there's a fuel gauge and it's flashing. That fuel gauge actually functions. The reason it's flashing right now is I'm missing a module that BMC is sending me here real soon. but it does work. I confirmed. Up top, you see we've got the neutral indicator light. Of course, when you put the blinkers on, you get the blinker. You do your high beam, you get your high beam, standard stuff. What isn't standard there is if you see at the bottom where it says gear, I get a gear indicator there. So when I put it in first gear, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so on and so forth. That's pretty cool. Sometimes it's hard to remember what gear you're in with these things. If you've been cruising along for a while in third gear or whatever, you look down at that and hey, I'm in third gear. And then on the left side there, you see it kind of says, if you look really close, times 10,000 RPM. Well, there's a little bar graph that runs up the side there when the engine's running. And it actually has a functioning tachometer as well, which I thought is pretty cool. So, yeah, that's my gauge cluster. Let me get this thing shut down real quick. Figured I owed you a look underneath the seat there real quick. Nothing exciting, just another lithium battery. You can see my regulator rectifier there. Then the big boy tank. You can see that wire coming out of it. That's a fuel gauge sending unit. And then that other little piece there that's not connected, that's a vent line. I've got a little one-way valve on order that I'm going to stick on there since this doesn't have like all the emissions canisters and nonsense like that. So yeah, nothing too exciting. Are getting ready for the event there, as you can see. Here's a little top view action of the saddlebags, if you will. Just to kind of give you some perspective on size and the fact that they are far from being fully utilized just yet. So yeah, it's gonna about do it, I think. I've put about, maybe 15 miles on it. Haven't had to do anything so far except for tighten the chain. The chain did stretch a bit after a little bit of riding, which is expected. I didn't buy one of them high dollar pre-stretched chains, so you get what you pay for. It is an RK chain though, so. Hope everybody's enjoying the build. I think we'll go ahead and move on to wrapping this up. So that's pretty much going to do it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the update. I've been super busy, as you can tell. I think on the last video, this thing was maybe just a roller, hadn't run or anything, and now she's a rider. So there we are. Still got to get, like I said, I got to get that carburetor dialed in, and then just put miles on it. And the last thing is figure out how to pack and what to pack. So there we are. Won't be long. This thing's going to be ripping across the desert in Utah, and hopefully it stays in one piece for the 7 days that I need it to with my teammates. So that's going to do it for today, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, hit that button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you'll be sure to get the updates as well if you hit the bell. So thanks for watching.